Clint Eastwood is holding me. I'm unconscious. He's on top of the horse. He is holding me in his arms like this. And, of course, the sound man goes with like this with the clapboard, and the horse goes,
I remember a Death Valley days where it starts off, you're in jail behind bars, and has some great scenes because you were in jail because they thought you had poisoned your son.
I don't remember.
That's what they always would say, guilty of a crime. I don't remember.
And I was in Rawhide?
Yes, 2 Rawhides.
Right.
You were in one with Karen Sharp.
I was.
Yes, you remember that one?
She's a good friend, right?
Yes, no,
right.
That was a good episode.
And we had one where we're in a stagecoach, and it's run amok and over the hillsides, and we're in this stagecoach, and it occurred to me only afterwards. Next time they ask you to do that, say no, because you can get killed in a thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, those Rawhides were different than a lot of the other Westerns on TV because they actually shot outside more often than others.
Shot outside.
You were in the one with Karen Sharp where Victor Jory played your father.
Which one?
Victor Jory. And
yes.
You were one of 3 daughters, and he wanted to marry them all off. So Clint, Rowdy Yates, and Charles Gray wanted you, and Clint wanted Karen Sharp. I don't understand
why. Where do you store all this information? In your in your head?
People ask me that all the time.
It's amazing to me.
That's all I know, though.
Because I was there.
I don't know. But it's fun. It's interesting for me.
It is.
You were the one who got to be in that stagecoach that almost turned over. And I'll remember that now.
Yeah, right. So, and I think I was on top of a horse. I think I was sitting. Clint Eastwood is holding me. I'm unconscious. He's on top of the horse. He is holding me in his arms like this. And, of course, the sound man goes with like this with the clapboard, and the horse goes.
Well, luckily Clint was a good rider. Did he just throw you aside, or did he hang on to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's some action. So you did stunt work with Clint?
Well, yes.
And in the stagecoach.
Yeah.
Did you get extra pay for that?
I should have. Right. And Karen Sharp became a good friend, too.
She's terrific. She was under contract to John Wayne. Karen was. She did a lot of Westerns, whereas you were doing sitcoms. She was doing Westerns.
So I never did and met John Wayne. I never did any of those. But I have spent, from the time I was under contract to Paramount, all those years in this business. Isn't that something? I am retired now, so don't offer me anything. Because half the time now I say, what is that line? What is that? They say, it's very simple. And I said, I know, but I forgot it. What is it? What is it? So I think I've reached that stage. But
well, let me ask you something else you may not remember. There was a pilot with Phil Silvers and Jack Benny called The Slowest Gun of the West. I had never heard of it, and because you're our guest, I watched it.
All right, folks, now listen, I ain't a talking man. But Elsie Mae, he is my woman, and anyone who says different will answer to my 2 friends. My shooting knife.
Some dancing scenes with Phil Silvers, and she made out with one of the best bad guys, Robert J. Wilkie. You're kissing Robert Wilkie? He scares everybody.
Bob Wilkie? Yeah,
yes.
but I kissed him. Wow, but I remember that also. That was the most... I'm such a fair maiden. I'm such a lady, So this was a bunch of guys. Guys. Phil Silvers was yeah, I just can't tell you how uncomfortable it was.
Well, I'll tell you why. One of the reasons is you're talking about all those guys that surrounded you there. Those guys were all the famous bad guys. You had Jack Elam, Lee Van Cleef,
Yes.
Bob Wilkie,
Yeah.
just one right after the other, and they were all outgunned by Phil Silvers.
Right.
Welcome to Primrose.
I guess it must be true what we heard about your new sheriff.
He must be wonderful.
It sure is a nice, quiet town.
The Dalton brothers.
The great Sam Bass.
My teddy bear. I warned them about gunplay in Primrose, but they won't listen. They just won't listen.
And you danced with Phil. There was a square dance sequence that you were dancing. You were engaged in the film.
Can I get a copy of that? Because it was alive. It was kind of like a cinescope or a live big. It was a big.
That's what I
CBS.
thought until I screened it.
Yeah.
And it was shot on film with a laugh track, which is really disconcerting. And I know that the first season of Happy Days was single camera with a laugh track, and you all switched for doing like a play a week
to
with
do
a
it
live
3
audience.
camera with a live audience out there.
How did that change the way the show
Well,
was?
excepting the minute the Fonz came on the set, they would just start screaming, screaming, and you couldn't hear the lines or anything. No, it was great because Tom Bosley was from Broadway. He was an actor, and I was trained on the stage. Most of us, Ron Howard wasn't, but most everybody that came to work on Happy Days had been trained. They were stage actors. So we made use of that audience. We fed back and forth.
I heard that the laughter and applause as different characters would enter would last so long that the script writers would be deleting pages from the script to make it come out on time.
It was like going to a party every Friday night.
That's
Unbelievable.
great. How fun.
And so we lasted about 11 years.
And
we had a softball team.
Well, Gary Marshall was a big sports guy too.
I
wasn't
played
he?
Rover. Like Rover, get over there, Marion, get over there. Over there, over.
I thought you meant roll over Rover, but
No, but I could hit. I could really hit. I was good. And in fact, I have my own bat with my name etched into it. So I would hit, and I could get to first base. And I would run like this. So they were not going to hit that fine old lady, so they would overthrow first base. I would get on.
No, who did you play? What other teams were they? All in the Paramount lot?
Media guys, and we would play before a Dodger game. We played all over the U.S., which was a good way to promote Happy Days. We would play in a pregame with media guys, and they thought we were kidding. No, we're actors. We're never kidding. We're never kidding.
Everybody seemed to have wanted to work with Gary Marshall. He must have been a lot of fun.
He was wonderful. In fact, one of my first memories is being on the show, and you got the table read, and this apparently wasn't going too well. And he said, you go to your dressing room. I want to talk to you. I thought, oh, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get canned. So he came in and he said, Daddy isn't working for you, is it? You know. So, and I thought, I didn't say anything. I just nodded. And then he said, I'll fix it. He took the same joke, turned it inside out, and the beats go boom, 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 a little more in my rhythm, and then it worked.
Great.
But I had a moment I could have gotten fired.
Well, he had 5 or 6 shows on at the same time. Just really brilliant. And another show you may not remember, you played Dutch Schultz's wife.
I did.
On The Untouchables.
I did.
Yes, you remember that.
I do.
Oh,
vividly.
good. Yes.
Do. Yeah. Right. I love that. It was very unlike me. I did more unlikely roles. It was amazing.
Which is wonderful to show your diversity. A lot of people only know you from Happy Days, and as I was researching, digging back into these things, I was amazed, and I started to screen them, and just, you were terrific in all of them.
And then in my later years, I became Jewish,
Oh.
and on Brooklyn Bridge, and
Yes.
I wasn't Jewish. And I thought, I wish I were Jewish. You know? There was a woman in the market, and I could hear the way she was talking. I said, "Are you Jewish?" You know, at the groceries. She said, "Yes." I said, "Oh, I wish I were Jewish." And she staggered back. She staggered back. She said, "Nobody has ever said that to me in my whole life." So they sent me to a coach, and I would be so. I am always so interested in not what you're saying as much as like how you say that. Listen how you say that. I'm fascinated with people. I'm fascinated with all of us. We are all so different and fascinating. It's just fascinating. You know?
When you were starting out, were you at that time fascinated by people and watching what they were doing?
Yes, like I'm in the 3rd grade, and there was a little girl, and she talked with the most interesting sense of bird. She talked like this through her nose, and I just thought that was adorable. So I talked the same, I talked the same way. And I just said, well, the 2 of us were sent to a remedial speech class. She's still there. I snapped out of it.
Yeah, well, good. As soon as you said, "Why am I in this room with this person who can't talk?"
Not worth it. Yeah.
Well, in the early days of television, when you were going from show to show to show, were you happy with your agent, or how did you approach each of these things? Somebody said, "This is the role for you."
When I was about 25, and I would watch the industry, I would read the trades. We would read the trades every day. We don't anymore. Where are those trades?
They're on your phone now.
Was that it? I don't know. It occurred to me, I would see the same names, and I think this is about selling. Not about acting. It's show business. Mm-hmm. So I thought, I already know how to act. I got that. So I hired a press agent. And she was a wonderful woman named Barbara Best. She worked for Stanley Kramer. And she took me under her wing. And she would teach me, how can you teach somebody? But the essence of, we got to sell you. How are people going to know about you? And we took out ads, and she was constantly calling me and prodding me along and giving me ideas and selling. And now I'm so aware that advertising it's more than half of it, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So it's 80% of it.
So it's all about awareness,
right.
Obviously people became aware of you because you were in the pilot with a different cast for Happy Days. It wasn't even called Happy Days. They cut it and aired it because they couldn't sell it on Love American Style.
That's right. Love in the Happy Days, it was called. But it was, and we made one episode on Love American Style, and then they said, "Oh, here's $1,000. This is a retainer. Go away, go away." And then in about a year, they said, I was doing a play at the Globe Theater in San Diego. Somebody came to me. They said, "Oh, I see in the trades you're going to be doing they're going to redo the Happy Days."
Because you were doing the play and you hadn't been reading the trades every day.
No.
Well, it turned out to be great because you were everybody's favorite mom. And could you say, oh, Richie again?
Oh, Richie. Oh, Howie. Oh, Howard. Oh, Howard.
It's so believable.
Oh, Arthur. Then I would say, oh, Arthur. You know, oh, you're not eating. You know, things like that.
Marion, thank you for coming and sharing this. Hi, I'm Rob Word. Thanks for watching A Word on Westerns. Each week we post a new episode, and all you have to do is subscribe right here. Click on this. You won't miss a one. Adios.